Dynamite for a real special video here for you guys. This is something that I've had on my mind for a little while, but then an exclusive scoop did come in from Detonated, which I think fueled this video even further and makes the discussion even more interesting. We're going to be talking about a potential super Easter egg in Black Ops 6 Zombies and how it could be compared to previous zombie iterations. Definitely stay tuned. Now, just for context, right, as far as how super Easter eggs have worked in the past, Treyarch has technically done them to an extent, but obviously never on the scale of what we saw in Infinite Warfare, which we'll go back to in a second. But Black Ops 1, to my understanding, on last gen, only allowed you to do the Big Bang Theory super Easter egg on Moon if you had the prerequisites done, which was completing the Easter eggs on Call of the Dead and Shangri-La prior to attempting the Big Bang Theory on Moon. If you hadn't done any of that, then you would only be able to do the cryogenic slumber party Easter egg where you'd reveal Samantha in the MPD. That's as far back as I remember as far as the first super Easter egg goes for COD Zombies. Black Ops 2, I think, was real interesting with the alternate endings of Buried, right? Every Easter egg quest had two sides to it across at least the Victus maps, where there was a Maxis and a Richtofen side. So if you had done all the Victus quests on one side, you'd be able to click a shiny red button to initiate a really crazy ending, only in Buried though. And from the standpoint of the narrative, only the Maxis side was canon, which was then followed up on in the official COD Zombies comic, and then Black Ops 4 Zombies. Black Ops 3 is the game where we totally expected something a lot crazier, maybe an alternate ending with an extra boss fight, or even something as consequential where we'd break the cycle since BO3 shows us just the complete cycle. The theories at the time were absolutely nuts, but then going into Black Ops 4, sadly we just didn't get anything. Not even a calling card, a sticker. There was absolutely nothing you'd get for completing all main quests, either with the Chaos story or the Ether story, even though the game itself did track how many times you completed a specific main quest. Cold War, surprisingly, despite the amount of time Treyarch had to make that game and under the pandemic circumstances, managed to provide fans with a super Easter egg during its second year, or small second year, of support that the game got, where you'd be able to go to the zoo outbreak region and interact with these pedestals. You'd float into the air, you'd see a cool animation, and all of a sudden it would tell you on screen that you'd get the following rewards. There's a ton of cosmetics and the ability to then spawn into any match of round-based or even Outbreak and Onslaught with a purple rarity ether tool that would be applied to your loadout weapon. Now, even though Black Ops 4 didn't offer a super Easter egg, I totally think they had something in mind that probably would have topped Infinite Warfare if Treyarch was able to execute their original plan to do multiple years of support for Black Ops 4. And obviously with Cold War, they didn't really have much time on top of juggling a bunch of other projects, including Black Ops 6 and what is likely going to be Black Ops 7 COD 2025. Black Ops 6, despite all of its flaws, does offer the first ever set of exclusive rewards for completing a main Easter egg. Never really seen anything like this in another COD Zombies iteration, and although it's not a perfect system, it's definitely a step forward, also similar to the prestige progression rewards that we've also never really seen in any other COD. Now, I would personally prefer if they maybe randomize the rewards that you could get, kind of like what we saw with DMZ and raids in Modern Warfare 2, where maybe for beating the same main Easter egg 5 to 8 times, you can get 5 to 8 different rewards. There could even be a linear order to the ones that you get, to where like the 5th or 8th reward could be a flashy operator skin or an animated tracer blueprint. But something I mentioned plenty of times in the podcast is that the rewards we're currently getting for the standard Easter egg completions feels like they should be the rewards you get for beating the quest in directed mode. I think it would be a lot more valuable if, by beating a main quest at least once, you'd unlock the Pack-a-Punch camos from that map for use in any other game mode of your choice, like multiplayer and even Warzone. I mean, that's just the bare minimum, on top of the possibility of at least getting one of each Ultra Gum. I know that's probably wishful thinking, because we already have a very tight system right now with the way that we earn free Gobblegums. But as you guys may have seen on Twitter a couple of hours ago, the Zombies community was in a bit of a frenzy after this Detonated scoop came out. So just for context real quick, the Call of Duty Recon Squad is a brand new group that got introduced officially a couple of months back, where there's a chance you'd be invited via your Activision email, regardless of how much time you play the game, to specific opportunities where you can take part in surveys, provide feedback on upcoming Call of Duty content, and can even attend meetings where more feedback is shared. So some folks out there that attended one of the recent meetings did reach out to Detonated with this information. So as Fajardi wrote, super Easter egg rewards were discussed during recent COD Recon meetings. The focus group agreed that unlocking universal pap camos for completing all main quests would be a reward that many would want, and it was then noted by the host. Just to clarify again, this wasn't a content creator phone call where information about upcoming DLC was being shared. This isn't even confirmed by any means, but this was a conversation that was had in the Recon Squad meeting. But once again, I don't believe the super Easter egg reward is even gonna be universal pap camos. This was something that the meeting host just noted down to then share with Activision. And I do think the super Easter egg will at least be a number of various gameplay items, upgrades, and improvements, not just one single thing or just a cosmetic. I know a lot of folks have already jumped the gun claiming that this is going to be the confirmed final super Easter egg reward that we'll see in Black Ops 6, but hold your horses for a second. Let's break down what that could mean. So, at least in my opinion, I don't really feel like universal pap camos really reflect a strong super Easter egg reward. They just feel like they should be a basic Easter egg reward for beating a main quest once or several times on said map. I think it's a great way to also reuse those pap camos for those out there that want to maybe bring them into other game modes. But at the very least, I do believe the super Easter egg in BO6 will reward us with a purple or orange ether tool when we spawn in, kind of similar to Cold War. But the super Easter egg can't just be that, because like I said earlier, Cold War already did a super Easter egg that way. Take it even a step further, right, with a bunch of other ideas that I'll outline real quick. Imagine Wonderfist spawning in round 1 for all round-based maps now. What about exclusive gobblegums you can get access to, maybe that aren't even consumables, but are classic free ones, like shopping free? Imagine how overpowered that would be. That's probably wishful thinking too, but it's another question of how we would activate this super Easter egg. Do we go to a specific area on a certain map and hold square somewhere, like in Cold War? But the Modern Warfare Zombies finale was cool with an animated Tracer blueprint. I mean, something like that would be great, but that's also not really super Easter egg material, right? What about the ability to equip all augments at once? That would probably require a lot of testing and would likely be broken upon launch. Maybe even a Newton's Cookbook feature that I know we've all been asking for, since we'd like to convert some of the weaker gobblegums into better ones. Imagine if an Ether Blade would get applied to your loadout. I mean, that's a pretty powerful gameplay item that could be useful on any map. Or imagine if a Golden Armor quest was added to all round-based maps apart from the tomb. I know there were also some bonuses suggested by the community that we've already seen through Modern Warfare Zombies as containment level rewards, like 30% off of a perk, or 25% off of a mystery box, or being able to spawn in with X amount of points. Those sound like pretty reasonable rewards for a potential super Easter egg, but with the way that BO6 events have been handled this year, my expectations are pretty low for what a super Easter egg reward can be, and it's also a question of whether or not you get access to these rewards for doing the quest in standard or directed. I'm gonna guess probably standard, even despite the directed mode existing for that map. Now, if you ask me, I don't think we're going to be seeing the super Easter egg people want in a game like Black Ops 6, but likely will see one in a game like Black Ops 7. Now, just to remind you of what Infinite Warfare did, there was something called Director's Cut, and as much as Infinite Warfare really wasn't my cup of tea, I really respected what Lee Ross and his team did for that Zombies mode. I mean, Direct mode went above and beyond, right? A reward for beating all main quests, first and foremost, the ability to spawn in with points, and a Perkaholic, and then being able to unlock a secret boss fight, which was Mephistopheles, and if you beat that, you'd be able to unlock, what was it, the Willard Weiler operator that you can then bring in to play zombies in Spaceland. So that was a next level reward that Treyarch hasn't ever really attempted, but everybody has brought up this tweet from Kevin Drew where he did mention to Lee Ross that he would like to raise the bar that Lee Ross set many, many years back. I honestly believe that will be done once Treyarch actually has time to work on something like that in a game that I think is going to be Black Ops 7. I don't believe we're going to get anything on the same scale as an extra boss fight in BO6, but if we get that, then bravo. But I do feel like unlocking a whole new boss arena and a whole new ending to the story is something that probably will fit into the narrative more once we play as the original characters again, and likely end up going to a lot of otherworldly or out there type round-based maps that aren't just facilities, which is what the current rumors suggest for COD 2025 Zombies. Now, I made a video a couple of days ago talking about a potential Richtofen operator because of some strange voice lines that recently got leaked. I think it's inevitable that either in BO6 or 7 we'll see Richtofen as playable, and for the first time since, what, BO4 technically? I mean, we've never seen him playable in every game mode at once, only Blackout and, of course, Zombies, but I think it's very likely we're going to end up seeing Richtofen as either an operator bundle or a Battle Pass character. I doubt they'll end up releasing a free skin for him as, let's say, a super Easter egg reward. That would be insane and probably one of the more appropriate rewards that everybody out there would love to go ahead and unlock. But I think at the very most, it's not out of the realm of possibility to maybe see a Blanchard skin as, let's say, a crazy cool unlock. Then again, I get it from a business standpoint, they'll make a ton of money releasing those characters as microtransactions, hell, even premium tracks. But there's also been some discussion going around about being able to combine the Liberty Falls zombie maps into one big Outbreak experience. Again, if Treyarch wasn't working on a COD 2025/BO7, then I wouldn't rule out a second year of some type of minor support for BO6, or even like a surprise towards the end of the game cycle where, yeah, you can explore all of Liberty Falls at once. That would be insane. Imagine that as a reward for beating all the main quests. I would love that, but is it reasonable or even likely, I mean, even possible for them to pull off while working on a whole other COD? Unfortunately, I just really don't think so. One last note before I end this video is that Treyarch really hasn't had the opportunity, nor have they even attempted to do a super Easter egg on the same scale as what we saw with Infinite Warfare Director's Cut. I know expectations are going to be high regardless because of the whole 4-year development cycle the BO6 apparently had, which I think by now we all know that it really didn't. I think if anything, they'll have a lot of uninterrupted time to work on a really cool super Easter egg for a game like BO7. I get how that sounds though. It's like, oh, don't worry about the current COD, worry about the next one. I just don't feel like BO6 is the game where they're really going to be able to go all out, so my expectations are pretty reasonable for what may be added as far as gameplay items. And I also think that whatever the reward is will probably be something fairly neutral, and I'm hoping for rewards plural. I'm sure they'll really be there to attract Warzone multiplayer people to really dive in and grind all the Easter eggs and zombies, even though hardcore Zombies fans that just play this mode do deserve something too, and that's why I'm hoping in the next year or sooner we end up seeing something that could even top Infinite Warfare Director's Cut. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comments section. What are your thoughts on a super Easter egg for Black Ops 6 Zombies? You can even think about a super Easter egg for what could be BO7 Zombies next year. Also, shout out to Expert Fusion for putting together this list of Easter egg completion rewards. Not even super Easter egg ones, but this is also some great information and great feedback that I'm sure Treyarch really does care about. But having to work on 2 games back to back will probably mean that some sacrifices are made to where they aren't able to reach that bar that Lee Ross set many years back. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.